inside there is an armored personnel carrier, and on the other side of it, like at the end, you can barely see that there is a giant hole that seems to be filling with water. There's a Marine inside that is like grabbing dirt and mud and like throwing it out. He's not saying anything. There is a tool bench that has assorted tools on it, including like a welder. There's some barrels of fuel, and there's a backup generator. The generator has been unplugged from the rest of the base, but could be easily replugged in. You can see that it has like a fuel cap. The fuel cap is open, and it's just waiting for someone to connect a fuel line into it.
SMG's up, pointing at the Marine, and shouts,
"Oh my God, there's someone!"
Or like, does he notice us? I guess.
You shout at the Marine, and he does not react, and just continues back to you, hands digging into the dirt, throwing out muddy water.
Is it the type of exercise where as he's digging out, it just backfills and he's not making any progress?
The water is going down, the mud is going out. But yeah, it's not great.
See, if we
From
knew
inside
more...
the APC, you hear a noise. A thud.
Somebody trapped in there?
Maybe?
Or some
When you
thing?
say, is somebody trapped in there, you hear someone go,
Dr. Hinton? Dr. Eden? Hello?
You don't hear any more thudding.
Guess we're gonna have to move a little closer.
The thudding stopped.
Renfield just goes, well, I guess they already know we're here. Hey, Marine, why don't you stop there? Why don't you stop and turn around, face us?
Slowly.
He doesn't stop. He keeps digging.
Can I look for, you said there's weights like near us?
Yeah, there's like not like a speed bag, like the heavy sandbag was pushed up against the wall from the inside to prevent the doors from rolling up, and the captain like pushed it aside.
I was gonna say something small but tossable, like a 2-pound weight or something. I chuck it in this guy's direction, not at him, but like in the water in front of him to splash and get his attention.
There is no reaction when that happens, but from inside the APC, which again, the end of the APC, like the part you'd enter from, you hear again like a.
And we don't know if this signal is still active between Karkadens. It might still be causing aberrant neurological behavior if it is disrupting brain.
Is it cold in here?
We're in suits, so...
But do our suits tell us anything? I don't know.
Yeah, your suits don't tell you anything. They're not electronic like that.
Okay.
Pop open I take my helmet off real quick and throw it back on.
Helmet off real quick.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if it's cold or not.
Okay. It's so warm in here. It's like 85, 90, just like it was outside. Got that steamy, hot jungle fever in here.
That was kind of reckless. How do you feel?
I feel fine, just trying to figure out why it sounds like someone might be shivering in that vehicle.
We could just go look. There's got to be windows around the vehicle.
I'm more nervous about... I want to check out this guy first, who's not...
Is there
anything that looks like we could restrain him with nearby? Or
Sure.
Yeah, let's... Renfield, can we restrain this guy with me?
So as you're looking around for stuff, you can see that there's a tool bench near the fuel canisters. There's assorted tools, a crowbar, a flashlight, a patch kit for like ship's hulls or the outside of the base, a nail gun with 1,000 nails loaded in it, and a hand welder.
Damn.
And a what?
Hand welder.
Would I know if any of those would speed up the command center repairs?
Yep. You'd be able to do it in about an hour.
I'm gonna go walk up to the APC and look in the windows.
Okay. You look in the windows. You see someone looking back at you. It's someone wearing mechanics overalls and a tinfoil hat. They are holding a frag grenade in their left hand and the pin in their right hand.
Oh boy.
The outside of their body, wherever you can see it, which is not many places, only on their hands and face, you see that they're covered in paper cuts. Their legs are up against their chest, and you can see that they're saying something, but their eyes are wide and they're looking at you, but you can't hear it from the other side. It's like they're whispering, and from the other side of the APC, you can't hear it.
I don't know what to do. There's a guy with a live grenade inside the vehicle.
Oh, bad.
Did he
Back away.
pull the pin?
I think that's in his other hand.
I'm like waiting. I was going to say something, but I assume as soon as I talk, it's going to explode.
As the two of you are having that conversation, you still, every few seconds, as mud is just being thrown over this Marine's shoulders, who's digging in this pile.
This could be, if you want to try to get the power going, I'm going to take some notes on this digger.
1 minute. Be right back.
He must be digging for something. I shine the light in the digging area to see if there's anything I can see, like either through the mud.
You're approaching the edge of the pit and looking down on him?
Yeah.
Okay. He doesn't look good. He's kind of a like dark-skinned fellow, Marine. His uniform sleeves have been torn. He's like wearing a full dress uniform, which is pretty weird. And the sleeves have been torn all the way up to his elbows. He's just kneeling on his knees, going into the water, scooping and throwing over his head. It's not even a very efficient way of digging, honestly.
It's like a toddler at the beach.
If you want to try to get the power going, I'll take some notes on this guy and see what his responses are like.
As you're getting closer, you can see Renfield has pointed her shotgun's flashlight at a vent on the north side of the building and says, air vent here.
Got movement?
I mean, we got at least one, maybe two crazy people in here, sir. You want me to keep watch there, or you want me to keep watch on them?
We got eyes on them right now. You keep a watch on the vent for the moment.
Okay.
As we keep seeing these vents, try to think back to the main diagram and think where was like the main circulation room, like where's all the air circulated from? Like, you don't know. Oh, it was just numbered. You're right. It didn't actually have names.
Yeah, I'll squat at the edge of the pit and look at him and start taking notes on like does it look like are his hands all torn up from doing this and everything?
Yes. In fact, the bottoms of his hands are bone white.
Okay, no pain response.
He doesn't
taking
seem
notes.
to be bleeding.
Oh.
Does or doesn't?
Does not.
Do we see dog tags? At this point, when Manson comes over,
close,
I move back.
You move down into the pit. You look. You're gonna have to move in front of him if you want to see the dog tags around his neck.
I asked Dr. Mason what his name is.
Well, you're Dr. Mason.
I'm sorry, Manson. Dang it. I knew that was going to happen at some point. I made it so far.
Like, this level of aberrant behavior, if you try to interrupt what he's doing, he may react violently to try to reassume it. Whatever you do, don't interrupt his workspace or him.
That's what you're worried about?
Well, if he's wearing a dress uniform, then you might be able to see... Don't they wear name tags on those things? Just don't touch him and don't interrupt him, and he shouldn't react violently to your presence.
Did we say this dude has the lacerations or whatever? Or...
He does.
Okay.
You get closer. You see the lacerations. Dr. Mason, are you moving around to see if he has a name tag on his uniform?
No. I asked Dr. Manson because I didn't want to do it.
Manson's like, you could go see, and then ignores you.
I'll go look.
Okay. As you move to see the front of this Marine's uniform, it will put you in the line of sight of the rear of the APC, and you'll be exposed to whoever's inside. Still game?
Let's do it.
All right.
Is the rear of the APC open or
It
closed?
is open.
Okay.
Oh,
And I did tell everybody that there's a man
The
with a live
SMG
grenade
up.
in there.
I thought the car was
ready.
closed.
Approach this man from the front. His head is slumped down. His eyes are closed. His mouth is open, and you see that his uniform says Abara on the front of it.
Abara.
You turn and you see the mechanic inside of the APC. His lips are moving, and he looks like he's speaking, but no sound is coming out. And he doesn't seem like he's looking at you.
Try to read the lips. Does it look like words?
It does look like English words.
Captain, I recommend let's fall back and discuss observations, and do so gingerly.
Take a step back.
Did you see a name?
I borrow on the Marine. Did I see a name on the guy huddling in the APC?
Mechanic.
Yeah, let's make a roll.
All right.
I think intellect.
Intellect it
It
is.
would be a great time for you to... You did remember to go check for a name. We flash back. You look closely. His uniform, his base mechanic's overall said Demar.
Mar.
Do you have names for the? Did you see name tags on them?
Give the names that I got. Demar. Demar is what it was listed as?
Yes.
Demar was listed as KIA on Kaplan's list, though.
Abara was also listed as KIA.
Oh.
Now, something that I observed in subject Obara is there's no more hemorrhaging and no pain response. There are parasites.
Are they alive or dead?
There are parasites that can kill and maintain control of the host body.
God damn.
If they are dead, something could be forcing their bodies to do stuff.
So Renfield says, okay, I'm just going to make a suggestion that everybody has a buddy and nobody goes anywhere alone. Okay? I've seen a horror movie before.
The movies are so unrealistic. The writers aren't scientists.
How could you say that in the situation we're in right now?
Oh, I'm scared.
Not
She
saying no.
turns to you, Captain, and says, okay, you're my buddy.
Yeah, perfect. We're getting out of this.
She looks at you very frankly and says, yes, we are getting out of this.
Can you turn the power on? I'll help you carry some of those tools back to the ops center. We need to get that data to know whether or not something is going to affect us or not.
Maybe, but I'll tell you this much. The power was on when whatever happened to these people happened.
And there must still be some sort of power if those lights in the kitchen area were flickering.
We'll turn on the backup generator, and I'll help you bring tools to the ops center. And
Why don't we just use this generator right here?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's right here. Turn it on. Fix it. Do the thing. You're a mechanic, right?
Isn't it already? Didn't you say all it needs is like the hose connected?
It needs fuel loaded into the backup generator via the hose, and then the backup generator has to be reconnected. So it looks like someone just unplugged it from the base power. It needs to be plugged back in.
I will be like, yes, I am a doctor mechanic, and I just plug it in and flip the on button,
Okay,
and then
there's
realize
no-
it needs fuel.
Yeah, there's no fuel. Yeah. You're going to start
And the whole-
refueling it?
Then refuel it. Yeah.
Okay. You kick it on. Power comes back on, and you hear, it's your birthday! It's your birthday! I need everyone to make a fear save.
That's not good.
I've not passed one.
I've at least passed one. It's probably not going to happen again.
I get it! I was off by 5.
Stress continues.
Stress is starting to build. It is not good. Captain, you are starting to reach the point where if you panic, things will be bad.
That sounds completely true.
All of you react immediately when you hear birthday party music begin playing. and then it immediately stops playing the birthday music and begins playing like current age pop music.
Is it coming from this room, or is it
coming from, you think, the commissary area?
Is that the only? Do lights turn on? Has anything else changed, or just loud music?
Oh, that's a good point. The lights do turn on in here.
We can fix the up center. We could probably just turn that crap off. Just saying.
Does the behavior of the two other people here change?
Doesn't change at all.
All right.
You lean back out around the APC. You take a look at the guy digging in the hole, still digging in a hole. You dip your face all the way around ever so slowly. You peek your hazmated helmet right around the corner. There's a dude staring right past you, looking at you, but not at you, still holding that grenade in his hand. You go back around the corner very slowly and walk away from the APC. They don't seem to have been affected by the sound or by the lights.
I can't help but wonder if
there is one thing you do see now, Captain. With the lights on, you can see that the sergeant might be in dress uniform, but he's also wearing a bandolier of frag grenades. That's Sergeant Ibarra down in the pit. He has 5 frag grenades strapped to his chest.
I can't help but think that Mechanic Damar, when they were still of their own mind, grabbed that grenade in hopes to end their suffering. Not as self-defense, but we've already seen 2 other people end themselves. This feels like that was another attempt that has gone not according to plan. I mean, I hate to even ask this, but do we do that? Do we perform that act for Damar?
I don't know. Look, I understand that there is sympathy for the status of the subjects, but my concern...
Subjects? These were test subjects. I didn't sign up for this.
Look, if I stay clinical about it, look, the important thing is the only lead that I have on what it could have affected their minds so aberrantly is whether or not there's a parasite in a corpse where the signal is disrupting neurological activity in the brain. One of those is dangerous to us. I need to see the research notes to know what we can expect for ourselves, and maybe try to find a way to protect ourselves from it if that's the case.
Or we could just get the core and get the hell out of Dodge.
That's my vote. Find the core.
I don't care to know more about this. I want away.
The mystery don't matter. Living matters.
I'm trying to make sure we do.
I'm going to head back to the command center and just see if there's a single computer that's working.
Oh, you're heading back to the command center? Oh, no split. Who's your buddy? Who's your buddy?
I'm traveling with him.
I don't want my buddy.
Like I grab a handful of tools from the tool bench, including the hand welder, and I follow him since I'm his buddy.
Okay. The power in the command center is on, but as previously mentioned, all of the equipment has been smashed.
Well, here's your tools, and I set them down.
It'll take you 1 hour to repair everything in this room and get it working again.
Remind me, with the computers in the med bay, were they on as well beforehand?
With a quick scan here, the computers in the med bay are run from this room. If you get these back on, the med bay computers will turn back on.
I just want to do a control F for logic core, damn it.
The logic core is going to be inside of Hinton or violently removed from him.
I'm sorry, what?
There's only 2 more areas we haven't looked at.
And I think we can check them out faster than
I think we can check them out faster when we can get these computers done. So let's hoof it and do that.
Sorry, are we just going to leave those 2 guys in the garage?
That's what I said.
I would like to try to help them, but nobody seems interested in figuring out what's going on with them except for me.
My suggestion was to restrain them if we could, at least the one guy, but
I mean, Renfield gestures to her shotgun and is like, I think we can help them.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
I'm with you on
I'm not
this,
opposed to
Doctor.
it. I'm not opposed to it.
I mean, if
They didn't look alive to me.
I, if nothing else, Doctor, you could consider this research. If we shoot them in the head, they don't die. Add that to your notes.
But they're
Wasn't
not
there a
hurt.
revolver in the command center?
Look, if they're
Yeah.
already dead,
I'll pick
then
it up.
shooting them does
Bring that
nothing.
with me.
Then how come the one in the command center doesn't
if
come
they
back?
I don't know. I would need to get the power up in the lab to be able to analyze this guy's body to give you that answer.
Or we could give you a larger sample size than one and shoot these two. Try to put them out, try to help them, and see.
I would like to try to help them. If
I
there's a
vote for
chance
shooting.
if there's a chance I could save one of them, I would like to take it.
Shooting.
I mean, Renfield looks at you guys say shooting, and she's just like, I think we should dump the fuel canisters in there, and someone shoots it from outside the room.
Oh, fire. Burn them.
I think we need
Oh,
to
using
burn
that
the whole
APC
room.
to get the heck back to the ship.
We
But
don't
if
need the APC to get back to the ship. We walked here, Captain.
All right.
You want to go back out? Oh
if
my
we burn
goodness.
that, we could end up burning the whole facility.
I mean,
I think
she
that might be a good
gestures
thing.
around to a facility covered in bullet holes, blood, and cake. There is water damage on
And
the
birthday
inside.
music.
Yeah.
Look,
The birthday music
Renfield.
is still playing. Yeah.
I like your idea. Let's scatter. Let's get the fuel set. Let's make sure that we can take that shot as needed, and let's check those last two rooms. If we can find the core, take that shot and get the heck out of here.
And what happens if we just knee-jerk burn this whole place down and that data core gets fried in here because we didn't
Well,
find
I say
Hinton or
we-
his body?
We'll check the last
set
two
it
rooms
up.
first. We ain't
Yes.
seen
Yes.
Hinton yet.
Yeah. So Renfield says, listen, I don't know what your orders are. My orders came back to drop you down here. I work for you, Captain, but I didn't get any corporate briefing. If we don't need to burn this place down, you think that's not a good idea, maybe we don't do it. On the other hand, accidents happen.
I think we set up those canisters, and we have that in our back pocket if we need it.
I think at this point, Dr.
Look, our
Mason
mission
is
our
just going to, yeah, good.
fully half of our corporate objectives here involve the recovery of stuff, not burning it all down.
We need one thing.
There
We
are
need
that
two more rooms
stuff
to look.
is two people and a core. If we search the last two rooms and they're not here, I don't think they're here.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
we're supposed to find and assist Kaplan. We found Kaplan. We're supposed to repair communications in the facility. Doesn't work if you blow it up and burn it down. We're supposed to be getting all these systems back online to be able to try to salvage the terraformer for other personnel. Doesn't work if we burn and blow the whole place up.
Only goal we got is
don't
Hinton's
know.
data core.
We
Only
don't know
goal.
if Eden and Hinton are hiding in here and you're about to roast them.
I feel like you're skipping the part where we want to check the other two rooms.
We could look at those other two rooms, but we don't know if they're hiding here. We don't know if Hinton's body is stashed because he's already deactivated. We don't know.
Come on, buddy, let's go check the other room.
No.
Just sighs loudly and follows you.
Okay.
I think
I assume both groups are traveling together, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You stop outside a room labeled armory.
before we do that, we would want like Dr. Mason would start to like pour gasoline and stuff around so that it's ready to go if we need to make a quick exit and shoot.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, this isn't gasoline. This is like industrial grade generator fuel and like APC fuel. This is like real strong stuff. Okay, you're pouring it around the edge of the hole that the guy's digging in. You're basically pouring it into his water. All right, you can see it like
And the
has
APC
that film.
all over it. Yeah.
You pour it into the back of the APC. You can see the guy inside with the grenade just hugging his knees. You head over to the armory, and as you see Renfield moving in the front, she doesn't need to keep a light on it because the lights in the facility are on, but it looks like the industrial ruggedized door that easily weighs 2 tons has been ripped out of its holding area, and the inside of the armory is empty of any guns. There's just a pile of melted metal and weird like spider webbing over it. It's like a huge, like multi-100-ton pile of weirdly slagged metal in the center of the armory.
Didn't they say they killed those crabs when they found them the first time? This sure is starting to feel an awful lot like revenge. All right, the armory's a dud for us. What's one more stop here?
It's the armory's number 7, right?
Yes.
All right. I guess
guns up.
6 must be barracks, I'm guessing.
Okay. You head to the main habitation unit of the base. You can see it has 6 subunits, A through F. There is graffiti on the door that says comms off.
Turn off all of our comms.
Well, Renfield looks at you and says, I turned off my comms when the storm started.
I think when he says out loud, he's like, I don't have any comms.
She looks at you and she says, Doctor, you do have comms inside your hazard suit.
Oh.
To call me and the rest of us.
Right.
Don't turn it on.
Right.
This could just be letting anybody know when they come in here that the comm system is down, and that's why they can't talk to anybody. We don't know.
You are so negative. God.
So there are 6 lines that are colored on the floor, and the lines lead to areas A through F. Area A is labeled showers and toilets. Area B is enlisted. Area C is officers. Area D is second lieutenant Kaplan. Area E is research team, and Area F is Dr. Edom.
I'm just going to walk to
E and F is where we're going.
Sorry, where are you going to, Kane?
I'm just walking to Dr. Edom's.
Okay. You open the door to Dr. Edom's quarters. As you move closer, the door handle creaks. You push it open. Inside, you can see that there are weather charts all along the area. Some of them indicate that there's a storm system coming, but no one's been in this room for months. Like, the date on the storm charts are from like weeks ago. There's a birthday card to Olsen that is unopened. Like, it's in the card, like someone signed it and put it in there and then like never gave it to them.
I want to search around for research related stuff.
Okay. You search around his quarters. It is incredibly Spartan in here. There is a bed and there is a library shelf filled with research texts and white papers and books that Dr. Edom has written himself. There is nothing here that is part of his current research. The bed is hospital corners. It almost looks like a Marine did his bed for him. You continue to move about the room. There's like a weird feeling. You're inside a hazard suit, but there's just a sense of wetness around you, of dampness. You move your fingers along the wall following the storm charts. Some of these are from earlier and earlier, like going back months, and it seems like these storms happen on a somewhat regular basis, but one that kind of defies the local weather system. You can see that he's confused as to how these storms seem to form out of nowhere and then roll over directly over this base. In fact, the eye of the storm always seems to go directly past like the terraforming area to the north of this base, and the eye like always passes over an area just north of the terraformer every single time. You can see he's got like question marks as to why the storm always moves on this exact path.
Wonder what sort of interesting. Taking notes.
You two went to Dr. Eden's. Can I go to Kaplan's room with
I was going to head to the research team. Yeah.
Okay.
buddy system is broken.
The buddy system is broken. So you're going to Kaplan's? Okay.
Yes.
You go to Kaplan's alone. You open the quarters. Inside, it's tidy. You can see that he has a desk. He's got a bunk. There are like general orders along the wall, like reminders of all of like the company's directives. You can see that there are campaign ribbons for all of the postings he's been at. On the desk, you can see that there's a photograph of Kaplan with his wife and his 2 small children. And there's also a Sansa 6 planetary survey. There's also the drawer has like a key lock on it.
I search for a key.
You do not see a key in this room. Now,
Did we search Kaplan's body?
Mechanic. You did search Kaplan's body. You didn't find a key. You're
And
a mechanic. You could get this open with a few minutes of work with the tools that you have.
I remember. Okay, if the tools I have, then I don't need to go get the screwdriver.
Correct.
Then yeah, I'll just sit there and
I
jury rig
assume
it.
you have a screwdriver given all the toolkits you've passed so far.
That's fair. Okay. I'm gonna focus on getting it open.
Captain Baker, same time. Your partner is with you, and you are going.
The research team's area.
The two of you open the door. Inside, you find 5 bunks along the like far wall, and then there's a like public area where there's a Val Newman BZT game console that appears to have some sort of like collaborative mini game, multiple mini games played one after another sort of game loaded into it. There's a giant marijuana plant that appears to be growing quite heartily. There's a copy of the book The Auctioneer by Joan Sampson. One of the bunks has an anime body pillow of like a busty young maid, and the other side of it reads Meido Taisen no Densetsu. Renfield looks around and goes, "Yep, that's about what I expected from here."
Yeah, not much interesting. Let's go see what the other 2 found.
Okay, you see, you go out and immediately you see the doctor kneeling before a desk, breaking into a dead man's desk while looking at a picture of him and his wife and kids.
And the other doctor is not with him.
Renfield immediately goes, "Doctor, where? Dr. Manson?
Yes.
Why are you not with your buddy?"
My buddy left me.
Okay,
I
well,
want
I
a
bet
new
if
buddy.
I ask him, he's going to say you left him.
I'm sure he would.
Gentlemen, you're adults.
I'm taking notes.
As this happens,
Doorway.
Dr. Mason, you pop that drawer open. Inside, there is a revolver that has, it's not a 6-shot, it's a 12-shot revolver. There is a personal locator tracker that says Hinton. You pick it up, and it shows that Hinton is in the foothills of a nearby mountain, north of the terraform.
Told you we'd need that APC.
No, we're going with the stupid path that we didn't take. I pick up the locator thinking this must be the only thing important in this room. Give a quick glance, then walk back out, not to meet my buddy, but to meet the captain.
I mean, you run directly into the captain and Renfield, who is looking at you like you're a complete moron.
What do
I'm
we
just-
got?
I'm holding the locator beacon up. I say it's Hinton.
As you hold it up, you hear a bing.
You just found everything we needed. All right. How far away does this look? Like, how long might it take us to get there, you think?
Hard to say. I mean, you don't really.
It's almost
have
like
any
there's
accurate
somebody
map.
alone in a room with a bunch of maps in it.
Let's figure that
Taking
out.
notes.
When you
Try
enter
to
the
put
room,
gasoline all over the APC.
the 2 groups come together, and you note that Hinton's personal locator shows that his current location is exactly where the eye of the storm rolls over that mountain. Dead center. As you're looking closer, you're like moving your hands over the map, It's almost like there's something in the mountains that every time the storm passes over it, it like uncovers some sort of structure on the side of the mountain. And it's not until you get to the most recent survey that you see that there's a red arrow pointed to a circle around it, as if he's only finally noticed it. Like, you know where to look because you're like, I have a locator and it's located here.
I'm trying to figure out the politics of this situation. Why would Kaplan have a locator for Dr. Hinton locked in his drawer?
I don't know. That sounds an awful lot like not the data core to me. Mm-hmm.
Except Hinton is better than the data core or logic core.
Yeah, I think that isn't. Data core is like inside of him.
Inside of him. He needs
Yeah, so it's going to be where he is unless he isn't.
Unless the locator is attached to a different part of him.
Right.
He's in pieces.
No, it's located. I think you guys know enough about androids.
Pieces.
It's located to his data core. His logic core, sorry.
Well, we got a destination. We got to find a way to get there, and we got to find a way to get it back. So
It's a shame we just threw a bunch of fuel all over a transport we could have used to get out there because we were making rash fire-based
we didn't light it
decisions.
on fire yet.
Renfield goes, I think the rain could wash it off while we're in motion.
That seems fair to me.
I'm good with that.
Let's
Just
go
no
get
one,
this
no
circled
one
up.
light
Yeah,
anything.
It's just the guy with the grenade inside that's the problem. You know, I think that's a ruggedized APC, and I don't think it can internally take a grenade. But what do I know? I just fly rockets for a living.
A reasonable estimation to me.
So maybe I missed it before, but in the descriptions of the grenades before, it sounded like the pin was already pulled, right?
Mm-hmm.
He had a ring with a little thing dangling off it in his other hand when I looked in the window. That's a grenade pin, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking, shouldn't it have exploded by now?
Clearly it didn't. I don't know how grenades work. I'm
So
a
it's
xenobiologist,
Think in the
not a
background,
chemist.
you hear like a funky bass beat, and you hear someone go, explosion. Big explosion.
So I think it might be a dud.
Willing
Maybe.
to risk your life on that?
I was
Grenade
hoping you'd check. We haven't seen any other vehicles, have we?
Well, we do have the shuttle we came in on.
Yeah.
No,
Isn't that
It's not
fairly
rated to fly in the thunderstorm, but if we're willing to wait a few hours for it to pass.
I mean, taking a car that's covered in gasoline with a man on the grenade on the inside, compared to our safe, controlled, cozy. He's thinking back to when he was strapped in. Cozy, safe.
So now you're willing to wait a few hours.
Well, if different environment, yeah. Unless we get back there and shoot, what's his name? What's our pilot's name here? Lieutenant Anders is all normal still, I hope.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Well, we've got a location, and if it's only a matter of waiting out the storm, do we really think it's only going to be a few hours?
What do the charts say,
look at-
Matt Man?
I've been checking these charts out for a while. How long do these storms normally last?
10, 12 hours.
All right.
It's a long
10
time.
to 12 hours. And we just showed up right as the storm was starting.
Mm-hmm.
Is time really our enemy right now, though, if we're in a controlled, safe environment?
So you weren't willing to wait 7 hours or 1 hour, but now you're willing to wait upwards of 12 hours.
Would you consider this environment controlled and safe?
Gentlemen, you are adults. Our lives and our contract are on the line here. Please focus.
Our contract does not have a time stipulation, does it?
I
Look,
did not
I-
receive the same corporate briefing as you did.
I don't want to be down here any more than anybody else, all right?
I fight that.
But if we're going to
difficulty.
be stuck here, whether we're traveling slowly in a storm or trying to find a way to bait a guy with a maybe live, maybe not grenade out or whatever, at least fix the computers so I can see if there's something I can do to protect us for the time we're going to be here while we figure out how we're going to get there.
Cap, you're in charge. You decide.
Boy, it's a tough call. Look, I get where you're coming from. All I see is a bunch of broken stuff that somebody did on purpose. Did they do it under the influence of whatever's attacking them? Did they do it to protect themselves? I don't know. It's a tough call. 50-50.
I think making any sort of assumption of sane action is out the window when a man shoots himself in the head.
That's what draws the line. Not the claw marks, not the tiny razor cuts. Fine. I will spend the 1 hour, but as soon as I'm done repairing these machines, I am going to the shuttle, with or without my buddy.
All right. Yeah. I mean, hey, we got some time to kill. I suppose if we're gonna try to take the shuttle there. Ooh.
I'll spend an
I'm
hour
willing to try to bait the guy out of the APC. I think that's the only other option we got.
While we work on the research stuff, why don't the two of you figure out how to make the vehicle usable without us getting
right.
blown up?
Let's give it a shot. You willing to give it a go, Renfield?
This feels like the worst plan.
It's totally the worst plan.
Hey, I'm playing character, all right?
Do I need to make some sort of roll for the computers?
What are you doing here with computers?
I am taking the hour it takes to restore power.
And everyone is going to be here while that happens?
It seems like the other two we're going to try to figure out if we can render the vehicle usable or if it's a lost cause.
If that came up, Dr. Mason was going to say, I'm not in support of that. I would just want to go back to the shuttle and wait out the storm, then go back. I'm only doing this to get you to shut up.
I don't want to stay here for 12 hours with a 12-foot tall monstrosity that can smash me.
I feel like we got to babysit these two if they're going to be doing this.
Renfield is just like, I'm still not clear what we're doing. I thought we were going to shuttle, but now it sounds like we are not going to the shuttle, but the doctors are arguing.
So I like the idea that
all they want is the computers.
I like the idea that we argue for the entire hour, but I am helping him with tools so he can fix it.
It somehow makes it take 45 minutes instead of an hour. He's so angry.
You get the computer system back on.
Well, your move.
No, hold on.
Yeah, this will not end well.
It will not end well. That is true. Let's see
There,
here.
done it. I stood up and storm away.
I need all of you to make a sanity save.
Oh, wait a minute. Yes!
Critical. As
Manson's frustration shields his mind.
Or
bring the
Captain.
computer system back online.
All of our bickering
you
protects
hear
us.
A sort of electronic scream that sounds somewhere between like a synthesizer keyboard and like children dying. Like human children screaming as they die. It is incredibly disturbing. And inside you, Captain Baker, something changes. You begin breaking out in paper cuts all over your body, and you hear in your mind someone going, "You must go to the hive. Rejoin us. We require you to ascend to God. Return to the mountains. Go now."
That's obnoxious. Here, help me turn this off. Whatever the PA or the transmitter or whatever, let's turn these things off. That's an obnoxious sound.
The two of you turn it off. You turn around and you see that Captain Baker and Renfield are both bleeding from their face inside their suits.
Ah, what the hell just happened?
Have either of the two of you taken your helmets off?
Renfield goes, "Oh, no." No, only Dr. Mason took his helmet off.
But
We should
but,
go
I'm still-
to the mountains.
but yeah, we were gonna go there anyways. Yes.
Yeah,
Wait,
good.
why do you want to go there?
To the mountains.
Because we're going to the mountains.
Why do you
should
want to
go.
go to the
We
mountains?
all agree,
Springfield.
all of us
We're going to the
together
mountains.
with
Hold
one
on.
voice.
Just 1 minute ago, you two were so
Mountains.
upset trying to decide what to do, and you didn't have an opinion, Benjamin. Now you both want to go to the mountains. Doctor, conclusion?
I
I'm
wanted
more
to do what
concerned
the
that-
captain wants to do, and now the captain also wants to go to the
We
mountains.
have to go to the mountains.
Exactly.
I'm concerned that you've been exposed to something. Can you feel that your face is wet?
Yes, I'm bleeding from my face right now.
Yes, I would like to help you with that.
After we get to the mountains?
Dr. Manson, how is it that they didn't take their helmets off and they could be exposed and have this reaction, and we're not? What's the difference?
Signal. The one that the doctor theorized.
Thank you, Violence. That was good timing.
So I need to look at his research to protect us and maybe help them from whatever the signal is doing to their brains, in their bodies, and everything else that's going on
I
here.
don't know if this is reversible. Feels like they were working here for a while, but the systems are on. I guess you can do whatever you want to do.
I want to try to access the research.
So while the two of you are talking, Renfield puts her hand on your shoulder, Captain Baker, and says, "Look, those two are together as a pair. We're in our buddy pair. I think we should go to the mountains.
I think you're right.
Let's go."
Uh,
And then
oh,
while
wait, already?
holding your
Wait.
hand, she intertwines her hand with your hand and starts moving to go leave through the garage exit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, Captain, wait,
Hey.
please.
Doctor, we
Doctor?
need to get this answer because they're starting to act weird like the other people here did.
Yeah, so you do your research thing to figure out why they're acting this way, and I'll try to stall them, I suppose.
But that could be very dangerous. She has a big shotgun. Look, try to look at the transmitter
As
system.
you're
You're all
talking, the two
mechanical,
of them
right?
are walking away towards the
Okay.
garage.
I'm not going to try to challenge a person with a giant shotgun.
I mean,
look,
they seem friendly, not violent. I was going to shoot the tires out or something so they can't drive the APC. Forgetting that I covered it in gas.
Oh, yeah,
Look,
right.
look,
Like,
look,
set them on fire.
I need you to figure out. I need you to look at the transmitter system. Figure out how the programming for it works. If I can find a way to cancel out this signal, I'm going to need you to know how to program frequencies into the thing. All right?
What? I'm into cybernetics. That doesn't touch any of that, but okay.
But you do programming and mechanical stuff with cybernetics, right?
Mechanical and computer science are two very different things, Doctor.
Well, your field is closer than mine. I'm trying to be confident in you. Be awesome.
Point me in the right direction, and I'll cut the red wire.
I don't know. You fixed it. You told me where the transmitter computer is.
So the two of you turn off the transmitter computer once again. My question is, are you simply turning it off, or are you breaking the console required to operate it?
I'm hoping.
To reverse
I mean,
it
it's up to
somehow?
you, but I'm hoping that between the two of us, I can figure out what he needs to program to try to jam or cancel out whatever the signal is using the base transmitter.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to. Actually, AP, you'll appreciate this. My old school ECE knowledge, I barely remember. Right, there were frequencies you could offset by sending them to the complete opposite direction so that they cancel.
Yes.
I'm gonna figure out what that
You're trying
phase
to find
shift
out
is.
the destructive interference.
Yeah, to completely cancel it.
The two of you working together quickly find out that there is no known cure for the infection in this way.
Well,
You're
shit.
trying to figure out the destructive interference, and that's fine and good. I'm gonna need you to roll another sanity save because you're intentionally exposing yourself to the signal in order to just looking at the signal. Okay? For you, Dr. Manson, you head into the medical room. You're going through Dr. Edam's more complete notes. There is an indication here that he has called this shrieking noise, the cancer pattern, it imprints itself on the brain of animals as a mimetic virus, but he also indicates in his notes that he believes that it is engineered in such a way it may also affect equipment, electrical equipment and electronics, anything with an electronic brain. And when that happens, like a light switch, you're like, my scanner from earlier, it stopped working after I scanned the first person who had the paper cuts. The second person who had the paper cuts, it came back with a negative, and then it stopped working after that completely.
Yeah, and Hinson's a robot. This can affect him too.
For sure.
Womp womp.
There is a note that the carcinids assimilate animals, both local flora and also human, earth fauna, by implanting their brain with the cancer pattern and then turning the host into a member of the hive mind.
Oh boy.
At the time, it hadn't made the jump to humans, and they thought they completely eliminated it. But the doctor was working on some specimens that he had kept alive in his lab, and he's looking forward tomorrow to continuing his research on vivisection of a live specimen. And you remember that claw that's been webbed to the wall in the medical surgical bay. And you remember that there's a vent from the inside of the med bay that leads to the garage. And that's when we got to the garage. As you and Renfield enter into the APC with the intent to take it to the mountain, Darum inside goes, "Huh? Who are you? I can see you. I can see you." Sorry, his name's Damar.
Come on. Oh,
Yeah, and he's talking to you, Captain.
Oh.
Yeah, you two went to the garage
go back.
on your way out.
I want to go back to the high, to the mountain.
To the mountain?
They're calling me.
Well, come with us.
I can show you the way.
Show us the way.
Okay, he stands up, he turns the APC on, and all of you can hear from inside the facility the sound of the diesel engine kicking in, and then the sound of the exterior doors rolling up. This is your last chance to get on this ride and go with the captain and Renfield.
Dr. Manson, I don't know if we should go try to blow up the vehicle to stop them, or if we should go join them. I don't know what to do here. What's our objective now?
So Mason has come to the conclusion that nothing about the transmitter is going to be able to cancel.
We can't reverse it. And every time we tamper with it, I feel like we expose ourselves further. Somehow I deduced that.
There's no somehow. You definitely deduced it. You're a smart guy.
Yeah, I just need to keep rolling low in 54 exactly. It says somehow I know that. Manson, clock's ticking.
I don't know. I don't see anything here that'll help.
You hear the sound of the APC driving out of the bay, leaving you with only the light spatterings of rain hitting the med bay from above.
Well, if the car's gone, either we're hoofing it or we go back to the shuttle and we can take the shuttle there when the storm dies down.
Whatever's going to happen is already going to have happened. Look, the research here says that it hadn't jumped to humans yet, but this signal...
Well, that's old.
Well, obviously.
He just can't help himself.
The signal, it corrupts the brain and forces other species to join the hive.
So maybe we should destroy everything here and burn it like we originally said.
That the cuts on the skin seem to be a physical symptom of the joining to the hive. And if the signal here, if somebody programmed the transmitter here to take everybody else at the facility, they have to be able to emit the signal themselves. If they're going to go become members of the hive and we go with them, we're going to be exposed to their natural ability to send the signal out. And we could end up becoming members of the hive without being able to save anybody.
And I have shown that we can't cancel the signal. So how does it implant on the brain? Do you have to hear it? Or is it just not through hearing and it just sounds funny? That's a side effect.
I mean, it happened as soon as we turned the transmitter on. Signals don't necessarily have to be audible to be able to affect brain chemistry.
So we need something like the tinfoil hats.
It's probably why they were playing with tinfoil, although it's not a very good insulator, especially considering you can only cover part of your head anyways.
Well, if we find a way to block the signal, I have to say, most of the things we've encountered have not been hostile, really.
Because we haven't tried to interrupt them.
I'm not trying to interrupt them. I just want to see Dr. Hinton. Or is Hinton a doctor? I might have just added a title.
He doesn't have a doctor title because he's an android.
Look, if Hinton is at that same site that the eye of the storms are always passing over, I don't think it would be a completely outlandish conclusion that that's probably where the hive, if that is where it went. We know that the signal can interrupt electronic devices. He is an electronic device.
Okay, so you want to bail on the mission?
I don't know how to save them. But I don't think going there with what we know now is going to do anything other than add us to the hive, and more people will come down and suffer our fate.
Well, the only other person I feel like we can reason with at this point is hopefully Lieutenant Anders. God willing, the signal didn't reach our shuttle.
I mean, we know that the shuttle was having trouble sending signal. Maybe that dampening may have protected Anders.
Was there anything here that I could do to try to reestablish satellite communications without touching the transmitter? The specific transmitter.
Communications appear to be run through the terraformer base, not here.
Not
at the
here.
research base.
Bummer. I really believe we need to destroy this building.
I mean, if we pull all the drives that have the programming for that comm system, we can destroy those.
I feel like I know someone very wise named Monica who once said we must delete the virus.
Look, I'm not a programmer. All right?
If only you had a computer expert who didn't just walk out the door.
I think we've got to burn this place. We can't let this get out. It's already out, so to speak. We can't let it get out further. We also just lost our backup pilot too, and our other backup pilot. Hey, I'm actually worried now. We should go check on Anders and make sure he's okay.
Yeah, I agree. We should go. It'll give us time to think, and we can check and see if that option is gone. I kind of want to see what's in the observation lab, the vivisection suite, and see if maybe there's more information there that might help us understand how they transmit naturally.
Actually, is that door unlocked now? Would we know? We haven't checked.
It was
keycard.
It was turned on when you went in the first time, even though the base didn't have power. It was keycard locked. Although, as mentioned, there is an air vent into the operating table area.
As much as I want that Lobo healer thing, I'm not calling through a vent, especially if that's... No, I'm not calling through a vent. To the shuttle.
You know, thinking about it, that healer thing could probably bring somebody back from this infection. Maybe. It could happen.
Oh, damn.
You're heading back to the shuttle?
I want to get into that lab and see if there's anything in there that might be able to help us save the others.
You want to go through the garage's vent?
I suppose we could possibly save Captain and put that thing in there. We'll never know if we don't try. Who's smaller, you or me? Let's see.
Do you know anything about electronics or whatever? Can you bypass this keycard thing, or are we gonna have to crawl?
Yeah, we're gonna have to crawl. Without the keycard, we can't get in.
All right. I mean,
Unless that glass is not bulletproof.
I mean, we both need to go in there. I can't fix that stuff, but I need to go through the research, and you can fix it, and you won't know what the research means.
What a pair we make.
And I'll start heading towards the garage, and I'll meet him in the hallway.
Okay. The exterior door is open. You can see that there is a body outside, lying outside the garage door, and there are tracks from where the APC is left out the door. The guy is still moving dirty diesel water out of the hole. The two of you, army of two, one of you into the vent, who pulls the other one up, and you crawl through the vent into the med bay. You can see the surgical bed with the weird webbing on it is still covering the meter-long crab-like limb that is kind of pinned to the wall. Glinting in the corner, there are the 4 large specimen containment tubes that appear to contain some sort of larva, and there's that lead container that's identical to the frozen one you found earlier that has the labels for hydrofluoric acid.
Well, if you want to start seeing what you can fix in here, I want to start going through this stuff. Hopefully between the two of us we can make that crawl worth the effort.
I'll start repairing repairing
Okay.
the
Roll 2d10.
Lobo machine.
It will take you 17 hours to repair all the equipment in here.
Even with the tools that we recovered?
Yes. It wouldn't be possible without the tools.
By the time I finish this, the storm's going to be over, and we could probably get there and back with the shuttle.
All right. Let me see if I can learn anything from this stuff in here. And I would like to study.
There's no documentation in here to study. There are the larva
There's samples
tools.
in here?
Yes. Do you want to do something to them? You want to open it up?
I mean, I want to use the equipment that's in here to try to study the larva.
There's no like scanning equipment or anything in here. Everything's been smashed except for what I've mentioned.
Just give it a little whiff.
I mean, are there just regular analog surgical tools and stuff in here?
No. You're looking around for stuff like that. It looks like it's all been smashed or fused together with that weird webbing that's pinning the crab leg in the corner. It kind of reminds you what happened to all the metal in the armory.
You know, Dr. Manson, I'm trying to figure out why exactly was the barricade put up from the mess hall to the barracks? Like, did you find anything in the other rooms in the dormitories that was worthy of barricading?
I mean, I only looked in the one room.
Just seems odd that that block was there and we didn't find anything on the other side. Either way, when you're done, happy to move back to the shuttle. Just nothing about this place makes sense to me. I want to get out. And confirm that our pilot is still there to get us out.
There's no tools here. You can't fix any of this equipment for me to use.
Wow, that's one way to word it. Jeez.
You just don't. You don't have time. That's all. It's not a statement of your skills. It's a statement of time. Unless you told me wrong or you think you have a new idea.
As much as I want to leave, I am not lying.
Without the proper equipment, there's not much I can do with these samples.
You're not
I wanna
bringing
just,
those with you, are you? I'd like to not have those on the shuttle.
I'd like to flick the glass on one of the ones with a larva in it
Okay.
and see if it's dead
I need
or just
both
trapped.
of you to roll a fear save.
Oh, I suck at fear.
Me too.
Okay. As soon as you touch the container, the ping of the container doesn't even reach your ears before the larvae inside begins thrashing violently and basically knocks the container over and causes it to roll, and it's starting to roll off of the table it's on towards the floor.
Oh man, I'm gonna try to catch that shit. I do not want that thing on the floor.
I'd like a body save.
No, come
I
on.
was gonna say I'm diving for the air vent while he's diving for the specimen.
Wow, you were the worst Army of Two co-op player.
Critical
Ooh.
failure. Please
Make
make
that
a
panic
panic
check.
check. So you want to roll higher than a 7. Nope.
Not gonna do it.
You know what my nightmares are? Dr.
No.
Manson.
Your heartbeat races out of control and you start to feel dizzy. Sleep is difficult. You go for the container, your heart is racing, and you trip. You feel dizzy. The larva hits the ground and you just hear a smash, and the larva is wriggling and rotating on the floor until it begins sprouting 4 limbs on the back and dragging itself towards you. Kain, I'm gonna need a strength check from you to get into the air vent without assistance.
I'm going to the air vent. I'm not trying to crawl into it.
Okay, you back up towards the air vent and you see that the doctor is lying on the floor. He is
Having a heart attack.
to the creature, and the creature has sprouted clawed limbs and is moving towards him. It looks like a fist long, like worm just flubbing itself moving towards him, while it also has the exterior limbs that are, it's almost like rowing towards him.
I would like to, while I've got my back to make what makes me feel safe as an exit, pull up my SMG, both hands on the pistol grip, and try to spray it.
Okay.
Please don't shoot me.
So, combat round. If neither of you do anything, this thing is going to jump onto the front of the hazmat suit faceplate and begin violently ripping it apart. Kain, you've declared that Dr. Manson is going to spray bullets at a creature that is in close range with an ally. Dr. Mason, what would you like to do? You are feeling dizzy. You are on all fours on the floor before a weird worm-like larva that is crawling towards you.
I feel like what would be realistic is you'd be freaked out, and if he's on all fours, he'd start crawling backwards. And if he's going too slow, he would then just like stop, drop, and roll away, just trying to get the fastest movement he can away from this thing.
I mean, you're much bigger than this thing, you know. One stride for you is a long time for it. So you begin skittering back away.
If I back into anything, I pull out the scalpel.
You pull out the scalpel?
That's the only weapon I have, because I'm not thinking
Okay.
about the gun.
All right. Make a combat check. Dr. Manson.
Manson's trying to save you, okay?
On a critical failure, you are going to shoot your ally. That is a success.
Wow.
You open fire and you begin spraying this creature. You watch as what's the damage of your SMG?
2d10, I think.
Okay, go ahead and roll that.
Double checking. Submachine gun, 2d10 damage.
Based on what you're seeing, the exoskeleton on this thing is so strong, you literally cannot hurt it with the SMG.
No.
If you held that thing to the side of this worm creature and pulled the trigger full auto, you would not hurt this creature. The bullets are simply sliding along its exoskeleton and pinging off. You guys are locked in a metal room, and the bullets immediately begin, traveling along the walls, and it is fucking insane in here. Can I get a fear save from both of you? Good.
Wow.
A 7. 69, not good, Dr. Mason. Bad.
Nice.
We're spiraling.
The creature jumps towards you, and it does so by pushing off with its 4 limbs. It jumps about 2 inches and then keeps gliding towards you along the ground. And you can see its rowing limbs are preparing to go back for another jump. It's almost comical how slow it is in chasing you. Like, it clearly, if you run around a circle in this room, it'll never catch up to you. But you guys are freaking the hell out right now. What do you want to do? It is going to continue to chase Dr. Mason.
I will shout to Dr. Mason, it's bulletproof. It's bulletproof.
Gobble. I think if I don't know, if this goes on for more like
We need to get out of
3
here.
or 4 seconds and I realize I can actually outpace it after I stop freaking out, which is debatable when I fail the fear save, I would stand up at that point and then try to get out.
Okay.
crawl
Anyone that is
through the
attempting
vent.
to leave without the other's aid will need to make a strength check.
I'm gonna like wave him over and be like, "Wait, it's slow. Get over here. Let's get in the vent. We need to leave it in here. We can't hurt
I
it."
mean, whoever's lifting the other one is definitely going to have to make that fear save.
So,
I think
just to be clear, Dr. Manson, you are offering to boost Dr. Mason yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Dr. Mason, do you accept his help and go up into the vent?
oh yeah, he's freaking out.
You crawl up in there. Do you reach an arm down to help Manson up?
Yeah, I think he would.
Army of 2.
Yeah.
Dr. Manson, I do need you to roll a fear save as the larva continues to crawl towards you, and you are now its sole target.
This is scary as shit. Take my arms. Take my arms. Take my arms. Up, upper.
Oh, what did you eat?
The 2 of you feel a lot better when you pull him into the vent until you see it start climbing the walls.
Crawl.
You leave 3
We closed
intact
the
specimen
vent.
containers. You leave the hydrofluoric acid. You leave the crab arm trapped in the corner, and the 2 of you begin. Oh, you close the vent? Okay. It hits the outside of the vent, and the vent begins shaking, and you can hear it attacking the outside of the vent. But it is like a baby child trying to open the vent. It is completely incapable of getting through this.
Thank you,
And the 2
Jesus.
of you breathe in this enclosed space very heavily for a few seconds.
I'm imagining in the movie Bolt when the hamster breathes heavily and the whole thing fogs up.
Look, I don't know at what point in this gestation cycle it begins to melt metal, but let's not find out. Get crawling.
Wait, what? It can melt metal? Wait, was that in the notes? Can we please
we've seen
leave
it.
now?
We've seen it on the places of the station. Start crawling.
Are you satisfied with your damn research? Can we go to the shuttle now?
I'm scared shitless if that's what you want to know. Go.
Crawling
2 of
again.
you begin
Goddamn research and this
crawling at high
stupid
speed out. You get back into the garage. You still see a Bara.
where our buddy is. He seems like a friend now after that.
What do you want to do?
What's your next move?
I think I just dropped the SMG.
Yeah, I'm just going back to the. I want to get back to the shuttle. So
Okay.
unless you like yell at me or grab me, I'm walking back out the front door. Not walking, running, jogging. We're jogging.
But we need to know if we can even leave this planet. I'm game with running blindly through the rain towards the shuttle.